and gentlemen, brothers and sisters.
This is a journey into sound.
The fattest, funkiest tunes in town.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All right. All right. All right. Let's get to this. Good morning, everybody. My name is Elaine, aka Stock Mom, and as usual, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Stockhouse U Premarket Show. What do we do here? I'll tell you what we do here. We do a lot of top down analysis. We love talking about those futures. We love talking about the indices, ETFs, individual stocks. We go into the news, and boy, are we going to get into it today. We talk about our trades, both good and the trash ones. We specifically like talking about the trash ones and the psychology behind those trades. Now, we do not give out financial advice, and we will not tell you how to trade or what to do with your money. But what we can help you with is understanding why we take the trades that we make. Now, if you want to come up on stage, just raise your hand. This is a friendly place, and we welcome people at all levels. If you like the conversation, bring somebody you like into the room, and we can do this as a community. I'm joined by some of my favorite people: Christopher, Vanessa, Marcus, Twan, Shanice, Liv, yo, Stocky Palpoa.
Good morning.
Oh my God. Which is the name of a segment that you now have to do because you've decided to take on the name. So, Stocky, you're going to be, I don't know, we're going to talk about this afterwards. I'm going to need you to do some Bull Bear. Hey, good morning,
ready.
Alec, Fahim, and Daniel. So, you guys, normally we like to do a couple of things first off, and we'll all do a kind of a quote, talk about our intentions for the day. I'm going to say, let's see, you know what? It's been a while. Twan, do you have a quote for us? And good morning, man.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I have a quote. Sometimes it's got to rain for you to appreciate the sunshine.
Beautiful. I love it. Absolutely. Christopher, good morning. Do you have a quote for us today?
Good morning, everybody, and I absolutely do. We're going to Germany, Kent today. Some Monday motivation. So here we go. Your Monday morning thoughts set the tone for your whole week. See yourself getting stronger and living a fulfilling, happier, and healthier life.
I love that too. My quote today will be, wow, did I already lose it? No, it's a simple one. Successful investing is anticipating the anticipations of others. We had some really interesting jobs report news on Friday. Interesting news on Tesla deliveries. A lot of stuff going on in terms of the American jobs market and commodities and what we're going to be looking at for energy investment. And although there are some obviously great plays to be made, anticipating how people are going to react to some of this economic news and how people are going to feel about the pressures, specifically given, a lot of the other catalysts going on a world stage, is an interesting, and it's like not a science. If you could just type in numbers and do technical analysis and trade based off of pure numbers, we would all be rich because that's doable. I can make a robot do it. But trading is an art form. And there's something to that. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking about. Good morning, Vanessa. Do you have a quote for us today?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I do. The biggest source of motivation are your own thoughts. So think big and motivate yourself to win. So that's my message to everybody. Don't look to anybody else for motivation but yourself, because who else but you? And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Indeed, who else but you? And last but not least, Liv. Good morning, man. Do you have a quote for us?
Good morning. I do. My quote for the day is the 6 ethics of life. Before you pray, believe. Before you speak, listen. Before you spend, earn. Before you write, think. Before you quit, try. And of course, before you die, live.
Yo.
That was fire.
Do you have a take from that, or you just want to just drop gems like that and just keep it going with no explanation? What brought you to bring that quote to us, dog?
Um, well, mostly the listening. I want to be better at that. I already do listen. But before you try, before you quit, of course, try. And of course, before you die, I was like, hey, that's Liv. My nickname's Liv. I think that's fire.
Yeah, it was fire. It hit real good. Everybody else, you guys don't have to have a quote, but I just want to say good morning and check in with you real quick, and we'll get to our futures talk. Good morning, Marcus.
Good morning. How you guys doing today? I do have a quote, not as deep as Liv's though. I don't even want to say mine now.
It's cool. We all can't be as deep as Liv. Sip.
So my quote basically is from Benjamin Graham. In the short run, the market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it's a weighing machine. So that one stuck out to me today.
Good morning, Shanice.
Good morning.
Yo, it's nice to see you here. You're up today, huh?
I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling, but I'm up, trying to be disciplined, but I'm up.
Nice. I can't wait to hear what's on your watch list for today. Yo, Stocky, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey,
I
Daniel. Oh, you got something for us?
no, I just want to say, hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Claim it.
Absolutely. We are claiming it. We're
Make it rough,
speaking it.
but claim it. All you got to do is have that idea, and that's the first.
You guys, SPY is at 403 right now. I don't know if you get to make the bearish cases. I mean, whatever. Anyways, we'll talk about it in a second. Daniel, good morning.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Always nice to see you, man. And Fahim, last but not least, yo, you got the Cybertruck front and steady, front and center. How you feeling?
Yeah, good. Something I was working on for a product that's in the pipeline. Glad you could recognize it.
Is your morning quote the Tesla delivery numbers?
Yeah, I mean, last week we talked about it. I did get a little bit more Tesla last week, so that worked out. But I got stopped out of the QQQs, so that kind of went against me. Stopped out at 302, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. Okay, well, with that said, everybody, let's talk about some damn futures. They're up. No, seriously. Okay. So I'm looking at the NASDAQ right now, and I'm looking at it on a daily chart. And what do I see? Well, we're up 0.74 from our close on Friday, closing at 13,316 and opening at 13,413 right now, and kind of continuing to trend up. Now, this is beautiful. And if we can hold over this 13,400 region, I absolutely can start to become bullish and start to look for the upside. Now, this is a historic zone that we have been rejected from. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 times since January, basically, right? So this would be a fairly decent resistance. And the last time we did break over it, we held for about 2 weeks before we ultimately got rejected again after hitting our all-time high. And so that is the dance that we play when we're over here. On Friday, I kind of noted this trend and saw us heading into the supply zone and had questions as to whether or not we were going to be able to push through. But if we look at how some of the other markets have gone, specifically Japan, although we know that India is locking down again, and we've definitely seen a large pullback in their market, it seems as though the U.S., especially with great vaccination news, feeling fueled apparently by Biden's kind of $2.25 trillion, what are we going to call this, aspirations? are really headed towards a beautiful place in the market we're kind of ticking up right now. And I am the number one skeptic, you guys. I do not want to believe. I don't believe it until we have a confirmation of a trend. And what does it take to confirm a trend? Well, for me, it takes a couple days. I love to see a trend confirmed over a few weeks. Right now, the look to the left says that the trend is chop city. The trend is extreme volatility. And so, until we break above that chop and really hold and start this new pattern, I'm going to expect more volatility. Now, with that said, I do have my activation levels, and we are at a key one right now. And if we break and hold over this level, I will start moving towards the bullish side. And I think that that's not a crazy thing. Now let's move over to the SPY. Sorry, not the SPY. Our S&P 500 futures. Wow, 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 you guys, it's looking rosy and beautiful. Now on /ES, we closed at 4,010 last week Friday, and we're opening at 4,036 right now. Now, this is a little bit under. I mean, it's not even a little bit under. This is exactly correlating with what we're seeing on SPY right now. On a weekly chart, I'm really loving the way this is looking as well. I'm just seeing like a really solid uptrend. And it's really crazy how you can, if you are confused about what's going on with the trend, something that always helps for me is zooming out to a larger time frame. So yeah, just like in the NASDAQ, there's a bunch of chop to the left. But once you zoom out a little bit and start looking at it on a weekly level, I mean, what we have here is a really beautiful uptrend pattern with, that was periodically interrupted with a nice doji, giving us periods of places where you can still enter into these trades and catch on to some of this momentum. So this isn't me saying that I'm forever bullish. I don't see that there's a ton of extremely bearish things. I mean, today Janet Yellen is going to be talking about a global minimum corporate tax. Right. So there's plenty of things I think the market could react to strongly in the negative side. However, there's just no need to ignore the fact that we are sitting at all-time highs right now. We've got a really nice trend on this all-time high, and I just would love to see us kind of build constructively. I don't need this thing to go straight to the moon. I don't want to see SPY at 410 tomorrow or something ridiculous like that. Like, let's just build some support here. Let's show that people are comfortable. And we can really continue to have this uptrend in a nice, smooth fashion. But as usual, once again, the story has been volatility. And if you look at the candle size, right, that's the beautiful thing about candles over line charts. The candle size can tell you a lot right there. It tells you the amount of people willing to trade in any given time period, right? This gives us the emotion of a chart. And what do we see if you just look with your naked eyes and look at the candle size? Well, they've been getting larger. Once again, building towards volume. Another number or thing that we've seen is that people have, and specifically banks, have a lot of money right now. People's savings accounts, at least some people, are reaching all-time high levels again. And so there is money to flood into the market if people start to have more confidence, and we see that consumer confidence come through. Especially as the reopening trades have been hot, but there's still room to go, ironically enough. Moving over to the Russell, gosh, she was hit so hard. And look at that recovery. Now, the Russell's been trading in this 2,200 and 2,300 range, and I feel as though we're continuing to do that. On Friday, we closed at 2,251. Today, we're opening at 2,280. A little bit of it's a 1.3% increase, so that's not terrible. However, when I'm looking at this, I still just see us sitting close to a place that we've been rejected from, gosh, so many times, over 10 times in the past 2 months. And I'd love to see us break above that if we are going to continue this uptrend. Now, small caps, and specifically the Russell, are I think it's 30% weighted towards healthcare. And so that's something to consider when you're looking at this as an index and trying to gauge what's going on there. But there are plenty of energy plays. I mean, this isn't. There are plenty of plays inside of this that represent every single sector, and so I still find this to be a really good metric for, once again, the smaller companies that we talk about on a consistent basis. And last but not least, I'll just bring up VIX and volatility. Because we did have a 1.15% increase from the close on Friday till today. But with that said, we are down sitting in the 1733 region, sorry, 1753 region. Historically, at least in the recent history, we really struggled to fall below 19. So although this is a fairly decent increase pre-market, I love the level that we're at, and this isn't giving me the concern. Well, historically, I'd been concerned when we hit 19, but seeing us kind of break lower than that is the question, are we creating a new trend? and the establishment of a new trend and figuring out what that trend in is something that doesn't happen quickly, right? That's the whole thing about technical analysis. All I can do is analyze past prices. I can't analyze the future. And so currently right now, I'm feeling very rosy. We definitely have some activation levels that we're going to be looking at and talking about with SPY and definitely with the Qs. However, I'm loving where we're at in the chart and I'm loving the reaction to Friday's job report numbers. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this thing, but we'll talk more about levels. Anybody else looking at the futures with me, or you want to let Chris talk about oil?
I just have to agree with you, Elaine. I'm feeling pretty good as well.
Yeah. All right, Chris, go ahead and hit us off, man. How's the crude oil looking?
All right, so we're not looking good. Well, when I say we're not looking good, we're actually looking exactly how we expect to be looking, right? So we're down a little bit on Monday, but of course, we had that OPEC meeting last Thursday where they, decided to increase the oil production, creating more supply. So that's exactly what happens when you have more supply. It tends to go down. Of course, Saudi had its output cuts, right? And then with that to be expected, like I said, we really would have had to break over that 6150 for me to believe that we're heading into a really bullish trend. And until then, I wasn't sure we were done consolidating. And that's apparent today. We're down 2%, down to 60.1, which of course, yes, still $60 per barrel. So that's right in line and exactly where I was saying we were going to stick at for a little while. But we did open at 61.25 and hit its high of 61.38, which was pretty exciting. But of course, we still have looms of lockdowns in certain parts of the area. But we did get a 0.6% increase after, U.S. had positive demand. Of course, we had Pfizer vaccine results that were looking really good last week. We also have talked about rollout, but we also are talking about delays in that. And so we're still in the consolidation period. When we look at Brent, we fell 2.2% as well, now in the 63.30, and we opened at 64.72 and hit a high of 65.14. There as well, I'm looking for 65.50 or higher to, officially say that we're going to be looking upward to that next leg up to the 70s. Of course, like I said, price target of 80. But I'll give it about a 4 to 5 month output now that we've had those setbacks with the OPEC supply increases, and of course we were up a little bit with the Suez Canal being blocked because there was supply issues. But anyway, we're looking at next May with a high of 1.15 million barrels per day on that output increase. And so that I'm looking to get us to a level. I mean, like I said, we're still going to effectively hold at the between 60 and 61.50 range. I think that today we could be expecting it to hold around 59.96 to 60.03, just because there's not a lot of positive news and nothing really coming up that's going to swing this thing. But be on the lookout for anything that might change it, because it does change ever so significantly all the time.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely thinking about the oil trade, and I was one of the people who was enjoying the heck. I mean, we both have really enjoyed the heck out of playing some of these energy names, and it's just like important to think about the ranges, right? Historically, we see oil trading somewhere between $40 and $80. I mean, it's definitely gone higher, it's definitely gone lower. Those aren't absolutes in any way. But as we sit around this $60 region, and definitely had hit towards 65.70 a little bit, a few weeks ago. I mean, I want to see this. It's much like the Apple end of the year, predictions, where it's like we're looking at 148, but it's sitting at 122 right now. A couple weeks ago, it was sitting at 136. It was barely any room to run. So I'm loving watching the oil prices kind of just cool off for a little while. Let's take a consolidation break as we move towards the summer months. I think the reopening trades are still on. There's no reason to tell me that they're not so far, regardless of the amount of whatever mutations of this virus happen. It seems like, I mean, I was reading an article today talking about Carnival Cruise Line and their debt to equity ratio being like really decent, even though they've accrued a significant, I mean, it's like, I want to say like $13 million of debt, sorry, $13 billion of debt over the course of the pandemic. So it's interesting what people are looking at and thinking about. And this deeply reflected in the price of oil and will be reflected as the futures kind of change and continue to go up or down. Anybody else looking at oil or want to talk about that? speaking of some other things, just looking at copper having a really nice uptick today. I see here it closed. Wow. I mean, sorry, hold on. I have to mess with my settings. I'll leave it alone. But copper and silver are both up on the day. I'm really interested in that in general. I've thought since Biden said that thing about changing America's water pipes that we should be looking a little bit more for the copper trades, because copper pipes are just the best. Although it is not the only way to replace aging and failing water pipes. So the question would be, is that what we're going to be seeing in the future? Obviously, gold down, Bitcoin down, Ethereum up. I don't know what's going on in that market. If somebody who's Bitcoinish wants to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum for
So
under 30 seconds.
I'm sorry. I just had a
Go
little
for it.
input about oil. Sorry, I wasn't able to input it earlier. But as far as just the investment side of it, when you're looking into the supply and demand region, and for people who want to take advantage of this, this increase in production, um, there will be some companies that get cut out. Some companies have oil drilling prices at roughly $60 per barrel. So you're going to try to look into those companies and find opportunities that have, lower cost measures like $40 per barrel. So there's still opportunity. Of course, with the increased liquidity, there's pressure on foreign governments to increase their interest rates as well, since the United States is doing the same. So just look out for either inflationary measures in these regions, like Brazil or places like India, and that will give you another opportunity to look for open markets or open areas to invest in right now.
Yeah, I was just reading something. I agree with you there, but I also just wanted to add this point. Um, Investors are focused on indirect talks between Iran and the United States as part of negotiations to revive the 2015 nuclear deal between Tehran and global powers. And so that could lead to some more supply, but also the jobs report, right? And so they are seeing some opportunities for getting more demand because we just had the most jobs in 7 months. With all industries adding jobs right now, so the demand is going to be there with people going back to work.
And it was all in, like, it was a large percentage of it was in service and leisure too. I'm totally agreeing with you guys. All right, you guys want to move on to the next segment? Oh, by the way, copper's up 3%. That's what I was looking at, 3.3% in the pre, which is pretty impressive. I'm not exactly sure what's going on beyond the idea that
Semiconductors.
oh yeah, copper is not a huge part of the semiconductor section, is it? No, I mean not that I would think of.
Copper, graphite, and
Cobalt.
cobalt. Yeah.
All right, see, the more you know.
Speaking of that, are we looking at SMH? Never mind. We'll talk about it in a second.
I mean, hey, let's get to it. Do you guys want to? Let's see. So every other day we do trash trades. Some days we do you must hate money. Today are we doing buy the dip?
You hate money.
All right.
Buy the dip.
We got to vote for must hate money.
I have trash.
Cool.
Liv, you said what?
No, I have trash trades. Well, for now anyway.
Trash trades. Okay.
All right.
All right, trash trades it is. So you guys know how it goes today. We will, at this time, if anybody wants to come up and talk about a trade that didn't necessarily go their way, raise your hand. We know SPY is up, but a lot of tech sector stocks still did go down. So maybe if you were expecting something to ride with SPY, like maybe Tesla to 720 this morning, and it didn't exactly do that, you can raise your hand. We'll talk about it. Liv, I know you said you wanted to talk about something, so we'll let you get started. By the way, I'm loving the PTR rev.
For me, it's probably just SPY itself. I mean, I'm happy to see it up here.
No, you're not.
I had like seen it like, and I was like charting, and I was like, yeah, we're on an ascending channel, but I didn't think it would break through and like hold, and it did at the last couple of seconds. The buzzer beat or whatever. It's like the UCLA game, but I'm happy. I'm still a little bit anxious just because of VIX, like you said. It's at 17 now, and then when market opens, it'll probably be lower. Um, I'm torn between the market not reacting yet to the whole Suez Canal thing from back then. I know that's like really old news, but I feel like it lags. And then on top of which, like Biden talking pumped it up a lot. So I'm like, I can't, I'm in a gray area of knowing true market value. So I don't want to just hop on and just say, okay, SPY calls to 405 or 410. And then the market's like, yeah, that was just a pump. Sorry. So that's really it for my trash trade.
I just wanted to add on to that. Like you're right. They were talking about that the Suez effects are going to be anywhere between 6 weeks to 3 months before everything is back on track.
Yeah, it's interesting. The whole breakdown of that is still seeming to kind of come through, but I don't know that it would be reflected very strongly. I mean, I was looking for American natural gas companies to see sort of a pop on that, but it's like it didn't last long enough for them to really have much of a strategic advantage. But we'll see as the shipments, and I know that there's a humongous insurance like case going on right now. It's like one of those things that will devastate a company and put them out of business. So that's what we're looking at. Who else has a trade that they think could have gone better over last week?
I'm going to short ship and tell you how it goes.
So I definitely missed out on the 405 April 26th call uh, for that limit order, but I'm looking out for a little bit more opportunity to take advantage of these dips. Um, I think historically it's like a 60% chance that the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P, roughly 50 to 60, go up within these following days. But there's like a 40% chance that it doesn't go up midweek. So I'm looking for that just to take advantage of, people, the euphoria that's going on. And maybe, for me, getting some out of the money puts and getting a little money there.
Yo, Rev, you sound
You're on
like
the
you're
treadmill,
really
bro.
putting in
On the
work, man.
treadmill.
This is
I'm on
ridiculous.
a cycle. I'm in a cycling
See, you
machine. I
ran
usually do
a
about 10
marathon?
miles.
Yo,
No,
why do stock people think it's cool to talk to us from their fucking Peloton?
well, it's a Kaiser.
It's all good. Anybody else have a trash trade they'd like to share, and we'll move on to the news.
Hi guys.
Good morning, Stacy.
Thanks for welcoming me to the stage. Your show is awesome. I came up because this segment is so cool. Like I obviously don't like money because I got back into a sundial contract because that's where I felt familiar. But obviously I don't like money because I apparently still don't know how to pick them yet. So I just wanted to support this segment because y'all are the bomb.
Thank you, Stacy. We love you. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, Chris, do you want to talk about Sundial in the marijuana trade? How are you feeling about that right now?
I mean, honestly, I still am holding 10 contracts, but it's only 10 contracts for the 2.5 strike for 2022. I want to say, let me check the expiration on that. But honestly, I'm not going to say I took financial advice, but a good friend of ours that does this a lot, and I really do trust him, said get out of it and look at other companies that can be profitable in that space, especially with how you played grow generation. Did I just give out too much information? But there are just other companies that are going to be profitable, especially with the marijuana bill being passed and legality. And what was it? Cuomo signed it for New York. Mexico's legalizing it. Like it's inevitable at this point. You can still make money on it. Just make sure your strikes give it some time because unfortunately, the amount of shares that Sundial holds, it almost takes as much money as it takes to move Apple, to move Sundial, and so you can just find better value in like Tilray, Altria, um, um, what was it, Grow Generation, things like that, CGC. That's where I would be looking. Um, I wouldn't, you can, feel free to choose or just roll with one of the ETFs, but I would just if you want to play sundial because it's affordable in the long term, you definitely can do that and make some money just because of where the entire sector is going. But you definitely can make more money elsewhere. That would just be what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I came in here and trashed Sundial every day for weeks, but at the same time, it went on this epic run. It's just the things that go up must come down. So I'm with you. I do understand. And hey, Stacy, you're not alone. I'll go with my trash trade, but it wasn't really a trash trade, but it was just an okay. So I have been really skeptical about this, like this market rise. To be honest, I have said that I would short the SPY at 400, and I did. Um, so it wasn't like this huge investment or bet, but at the same time, it was just me being speculative and kind of being a little bit preemptive on expecting a little bit of a market pullback. Now the last time we hit 399 or 398, we had a decent pullback, and I'm kind of looking for that now, to be honest. Do I think it's going to happen today? I don't know. We'll talk about it when we talk about the levels and kind of our expectations, but I definitely did just kind of jump the gun wanting to be, I always say I don't try to predict the market, and nobody should, right? I just try to find ways to react and react appropriately when I get clear levels and clear direction. And I did not do that. I just got preemptive. I didn't really do much trading on Friday anyways. I was holding on SPY calls. So it's not as though it really kind of was more of a hedge than anything else, to be honest, or like entering into a spread. However, there was literally no need. I haven't seen any sign of weakness yet in the price action. Matter of fact, the price action looks strong as hell. So that's kind of my trash trade, or just jumpy trade, I guess. And with that said, let's keep it pushing.
Oh, let me do mine really quick, Elaine.
Yeah, go for it, Shanice.
So mine is going to be under, I guess I don't like money. So I dropped these in the Discord. Clearly, let's just start with Visa. Let's start there, chart it out, entry points, watching it, clearly stop watching it. It went from that 213, actually high 212s, I believe. And clearly now it's sitting at 216. Okay, let's go over to Pinterest. Charted the same thing. Entered it. Pinterest, I will say I entered it before I should have entered it. So of course it pulled back, and when it pulled back, I jumped out because I'm on this whole if it loses 15%, I'm out. And then what does it do the next day? It literally goes from 68 and some change all the way to its $77.73. And let's not stop there. Let's do the same thing with Chewy. Talked about the earnings. Chewy is something I'm always passionate about. Knew it would be up for the earnings because of the pandemic. And right after the earnings, it went from $80 all the way to 88. Did drop back down, but I would have had enough time to get out. So I guess I don't like money.
All right, we got 2 seconds, Shanice. I know you said something about kind of waiting to enter in your trades. What do you think you could have done better, though? What's going on? How are we going to improve on this win rate?
So honestly, I have two friends that trade Forex, and they've been showing me some different indicators to see if they work for my market too. And what I'm doing is I'm paying more attention to my indicators, and I'm waiting for more confirmation in reference to the candles. So more so just paying attention to the two candles after the candle that I would like to enter on. So just discipline and just patience.
I love that. Discipline and patience are things that I struggle with as well. So you're not alone, Shanice. And thank you everybody who shared. Like, so many rooms only talk about the wins. We talk about our losses. We learn from our losses, and we will continue to improve and get better. So this is something we're doing collectively, and I really appreciate you guys for sharing those stories. With that said, let's do a refresh and talk about SPY.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first place every morning you should stop to get your stock market news. That's right, I'm talking about the morning show presented by Stockhouse University. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. This is a conversation amongst friends that love talking about stocks and want to improve our profitability by coming here every day, talking about the market, relevant news, and how we're going to use that information to be profitable. We think education should be accessible and affordable to everyone, so we have a free Discord that has tons of resources and over 1,800 amazing members at all different skill levels that are also talking about the market, and they're trying to grow as well. We also do free classes on Sundays, and we would love it if you would join that community and contribute because together we are so much more powerful than we are individually. Invite your friends, invite your family. Let's all create opportunities for generational wealth. Also, if you like the conversations that we have here, make sure to click the greenhouse on the top and join the community. We love to continue the conversations, and we would love it if you guys would contribute every time we're on stage, not just in the Stockhouse family. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right, Liv. You want to talk about Spy?
Yeah, I want to talk about SPY. So currently, SPY is sitting at 403.27. I've been charting it out for the past 6 hours, and I'm seeing a support that's strong around 402.66 overall in the pre-market. But if we have to zoom out, I'm going to say that currently there is a strong support, obviously, at 400 because we haven't dipped past that. If pre-market is going to continue out to the day, I will say that we're gonna probably rise, probably test 404. um, I don't want to give entries and exits at this point because I'm just so unsure. But if I had to give a default, like look on a website for SPY entry and stuff like that, I would say that a safe bet would be SPY's probably going to test the 404 today. And if you're doing something quick, probably entry at 403.40 until 403.60. And to the downside, I probably would not look for a fall unless it can fall straight down past 401. I think that if SPY is going to stay at this level, it'll probably range itself in consolidation at 401 through 403 for the next few days. If it's not just going to continue to go to the moon. That's really my take.
Yeah, it really is hard when you're sitting in this sort of territory. And I guess my question for you is, what do you deem as a strong support? Because I don't know that I would call anything a strong support that hasn't really been tested for more than a day. Uh,
Well, strong support as in just today. I don't even consider SPY at 400 right now. Believe it or not, I know it is, but I need to see SPY at 400 for more than 3 days for me to believe it. Otherwise, this is still like it's the same correlation of Facebook being 300 in pre-market, even though it has news of leaking millions of information. I just don't believe it until I see it for a few days.
well, the important thing to know is it was not important information, Liv, because I am, full disclosure, holding on to Facebook. So I really don't want this type of news to continue to have negative effects on the underlying stock price. So for me, and I agree with you, Liv. It's really hard to kind of chart in this world. My extension personally, and my upward goal would be 407 actually. If we continue to hold over this 404 region or 403, 403.35 right now, actually pulling back just a little bit. But if we can continue to hold to this 404 level, my next price target would be 407, believe it or not. And underneath 401, I'm looking towards the 397 level. And I don't want to overcomplicate it. I guess this is just sort of an interesting place, and we're really trying to discover the range that we're going to sit in. If we can hold over the 400 level, really the 401 level, I would love to start really pricing out and seeing what we're going to be doing between here and 407, 408. But till then, I think today will be a day where we allow SPY to do what it wants without too much, too many predictions. And I think with that said, same thing with the Qs. I'm really loving where we're at in the chart right now. We closed at 324. We're sitting at 327 right now. And for me, I would love to see us hold over this 327 region. I could absolutely get excited to look towards the 337 region if we can continue to hold here and break over 330. As we see SPY sitting at all-time highs, it's a different chart, but the Nasdaq is not at all-time highs. The Nasdaq is trading, uh, I think 337 was our previous all-time high, so we're what, a percentage underneath that, and I'm loving that in terms of. I'm loving that in terms of giving us upward mobility and room to run without actually bucking up against all-time highs and needing more of a strong catalyst to continue to push, as we do have sort of a shaky economic situation. Anybody else looking at Qs or SPY?
Yeah, I definitely think that I love the the outlook, Elaine, your outlook on SPY, especially. I believe that's going to trade a little bit higher, and then we're going to hit like that mid range of 402, maybe 405, 407. That would be a nice leg up, but I believe we're going to start just going up a little bit and then start trading in between the range, with some minor pullbacks. I would love to see it drop back below 400 for anything to be indicated downward. We do have that lagging indicator behind Europe as far as COVID vaccinations, and 49 out of 100 adults in America are getting vaccinated, which is lagging behind a lot of other countries. So we may leave ourselves open in that regard. But as far as good news is pumping out, I don't see any reason why we should hit a strong resistance anytime in April.
Yeah, April historically is not a down month. With that said, let's talk about some news, you guys. Who's got news for me? I've been talking about the SLR exemption and what that meant for buybacks from all of our major financial institutions. And today, I think we're seeing a lot of buybacks, and it's definitely in the news. Buybacks to pop 30% this year with financials as the forefront, Citi says. Yep, this is something that I thought was going to happen. I knew that they weren't just going to sit there. We're definitely seeing XLF, which took a nice pullback. Let's see here. So XLF closed on Friday at 34.47, sitting right now at 34.79. Let me pull up Goldman and Sachs or something like that. Yep, Goldman Sachs closed at 327 on Friday, sitting at 331 today. I think we could see a nice little pop on financials. March 31st was the end of the XLR exemption, and buybacks were imminent, I believe personally. And so I'm liking just the place where a lot of our major financial institutions are in the chart. And I love hearing news like this. This gives us kind of a simple, easy entry point and a reason to expect positive price action. But yeah, that's just one thing going on. Who else has news for me?
I had a piece of news.
Go for it, Marcus.
I call it BS news. I don't know if you saw where GameStop, they're talking about issuing $1 billion or selling $1 billion worth of stock.
Yeah, GameStop did a price offering. I mean, did a share offering, and it took them down 14% in the pre-market.
Yeah, yep. So I just had that. Again, I wouldn't touch GameStop, but I thought that was interesting.
Yo, Christopher, do you want to talk about Ebon, or do I have to?
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about Ebon. I was also going to talk about DraftKings. I
Go
was
ahead and
also
talk
going to
about
talk
it.
about
Don't
AMC.
don't just tease us. Get into it, Christopher. Now's your time to
Okay,
shine,
all
bro.
right, okay. So there's a couple of things that I'm looking into, and there's something that I'm sorry I was kind of like on the back end, kind of doing some research into because there's some earthquakes going on in LA right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm in
Like,
LA. I
are
told
you
Vanessa,
okay?
and she didn't even care.
Whoa, are you all right?
Don't worry about me. Get to the fucking news,
All
Christopher.
right. Anyway, all right, cool. eBank announces official launch of cryptocurrency exchange. Hello, good morning, Ebon gang. Yeah, there's that. Also, Plug Power. And Baker Hughes announced intention to become cornerstone investors in 5T Hydrogen Fund. So there's Plug Power for you. I think that might make the watch list. Anyway, DraftKings acquires Blue Ribbon. I don't even know what that is.
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
And
I'm so
gaming.
excited about that. No, talk
Go
about
ahead. Go ahead.
DraftKings.
No, I don't. I'm not even sure what it is. You should cover that.
Okay, keep going, Chris.
Okay. Last thing that I was going to cover is AMC got a price target upgrade, which is like $13, which is actually kind of crazy. Also, overweight and buy for Roblox. So I'm in that trade currently right now. Well, I got it on IPO date at 66.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you in 6 months after the lockup period expires at the exact same price that it IPO'd at. I just want you to know that. That is my firm belief. Anyways, so Blue
It's a
Ribbon,
trade. I'm not holding it long
what
term.
is Blue Ribbon? Blue Ribbon is a Tel Aviv-based like a gamification company that provides platform agnostic real-time gamification tools that allow for fully customizable jackpot promotions. So once again, this is definitely a positive for DraftKings. We've seen nothing but kind of positive news about their acquisitions and what they're doing, and they're up 1.5% in the pre-market. Something that I saw, which I was really interested in, was Ford getting a price upgrade towards $15. I don't remember from who exactly, but because they have simplified their lineup with the and they're looking at the Ford F-150, the Bronco, the electric Mach-E, and also them upgrading or sorry speeding up their plans to have a full electric EV lineup, and also a electric passenger bus that happens in Europe by 2030. So that's something that they're looking at. Hey Chris, do you want to talk about LG or should I?
Can I not?
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, it's cool. I
no,
got
that's
you.
fine. That's fine. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it, and then I've got a couple of other things that I want to talk about as well. So LG guys, they are looking to exit the mobile business. I'm pretty sure it's going to be announced today or some point
No,
this
no,
week.
it got announced today. That's
It
why.
did.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking to
Oh
you.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I know
yeah,
you couldn't talk about it if it wasn't.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that happened. So yeah. Yeah, they're expecting to exit the business. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, Tesla price target $1,000. Holy hell. Also, we all hate money because how many days do you have to put Caesars on the Caesar to on the watch list before we understood that it was going to get a price target of 120? I mean $113.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
You
we've been
guys hate
talking
money.
about Caesar since $85.
Thank you.
And we just all hate money, every single one of us.
No, 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 no. You guys, okay? I like Elaine. I listen to Elaine. I've been in Caesar since '90. Okay, I'm just gonna put
Ah,
that out there.
I love it. No, the Caesar trade has gone crazy. MGM2, I think, got a price upgrade. Like it's that reopen trade specifically in that flavor of reopen has just been piping hot. And on top of that, the we were looking at like the bookings and stuff, looking towards Q3, and it's just really positive, even with the debt that they've accrued. So I'm really into it. GM also got a price upgrade. Leading the way in autonomous, electric, and connected future of mobility, GM's autonomous unit Cruise was recently valued at $30 billion, in line with perceived leader Waymo. GM plans to roll out the third generation of EV vehicles using its Ultium EV battery technology. New Hummer, Super Cruise, whatever. I'm not going to go into it. Oh shit, hold on. GM's L2 automated driving technology recently bested Tesla's autopilot in Consumer Reports. Tesla to the ground, you guys. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not leaving. Although I am really excited about Tesla meeting, actually blowing those delivery numbers out of the water, specifically in China, because that was surprising to me, to be honest, to know that the demand is still going to be there. Seeing them lose market share in every single market doesn't really give me much confidence. But hey, it's the sector leader. It will continue to be the sector leader. So as they knocked out their deliveries, every other car manufacturer did too, showing that there is pent up demand inside the US economy in general, world economy in general. And me, I like trading XBEV, right? It's a company I like. I like the car. I like the technology. I think they have a great fit and finish. And they also beat their delivery numbers and do tend to follow Tesla in price action, although not directly. So if we do see a big run in Tesla, I kind of look towards some of the other smaller Chinese auto manufacturers to see if they're going to hit that same sort of have that same momentum. Anything else on the news side?
I was just gonna say, you just said NMGM. How about MGM also got the price target upgrade? Did you
No.
see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
$45.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Anything
We do,
else?
we do have that. I mean, since they are exiting uh, the mobile market, they're actually starting to put more focus on AI.
Home appliances.
Yep.
And, yep, and AI. Yep.
So they might, I'm not saying they're a good company or not, but there may be some additional opportunities there as well. So
Oh, LG is not going anywhere. Just the mobile
anywhere,
business.
All right. If nobody else has any like kind of stock related news, there's a lot. But oh my God, does
Can I
anybody?
ask a question?
No. Does anybody care about what's going on with AMC? Does anybody care about the news trying to make this King Kong box office opening thing like a real thing? Is anybody
No,
trading this thing?
no.
All right. I didn't care either. I looked at that. I literally, my brain ignored the article entirely, and I still said AMC is going out of business in my head. So that's just where I'm at. But I'm curious if anybody did have a bullish kind of thesis or feeling about that. Philippine warns China of daily protests if the militia stays. So once again, China. China taking kind of, I mean, the presence of China's vessels near the reef shows Beijing's intent to occupy more disputed areas. Philippine Distress, sorry, the defense secretary kind of made a statement on Sunday. These are things to think about. China is the emerging like superpower, and the U.S. is the one with the failing, crumbling infrastructure, needing $2.25 trillion of help. So that is something to consider. We have also India recorded, they had 100,000 cases over the weekend. They got reported. Let's see, Thailand also finding new clusters. Italy and France are going back into lockdown. Canada also reported that they're having an influx of people under the age of 45 who are getting COVID, sorry, who are reporting COVID and more severe, needing to be in the ICU. So those are things that I'm kind of thinking about just in the background because I guess it's not the most important news. And then last but not least, I really want to know how the market's going to respond to Janet Yellen talking about this global minimum company tax. I know that that is a Democratic Party thing. I know that Republicans are strongly against that. I think it actually might be the solution to what we need in the world, but who cares about how I feel? The question is, how is the stock market going to react if we do get any sort of strong push towards this? And obviously her in general and Jay Powell kind of move the markets. So even if they just say it, I think that there could be a reaction regardless of the fact that we knew that this was coming. So these are just things I'm thinking about. And if we don't have any more news, I'd love to get into everybody's watch list for the day. Alrighty then, let's get to it. Christopher, what's on your watch list for today?
So my watch list is going to relate to my question. Um, is it possible to like? I don't know what significant damage. If there is significant damage in LA, but can you play something like Home Depot or something like that off of that? Because
Nah,
it's up.
nah, you don't even get to really talk about it in Los Angeles. Nobody cares if you get into an earthquake over here. You kind of just keep on looking at the charts. So
Okay,
no.
okay. I was gonna start looking at disaster relief. All right. Well,
No,
in
no,
that case,
it
all
was a
semiconductors.
4.0. It was a 4.0 magnitude earthquake. Like 7 or 8 is what you want to like. If it's that, then there will be destruction. Forest,
Gotcha,
not
gotcha,
gonna do
gotcha.
much.
And
Okay,
Chris,
okay.
I didn't even know we had
Semiconductors.
one.
Don't say semiconductors. Give us a stock because not all semiconductors are created equally,
Oh my
Christopher.
gosh, I'm looking at SMH, but honestly, they're all everything that I'm watching is up 1 to 2 to 3%. So TSM, AMD, like honestly, pick one.
Why would you pick one? AMD. I mean, if AMD is up,
It
it's
is
still.
AMD and it's AMD only, but it's I mean like
I mean, if AMD is up, it's up $1 in the pre-market so far. Don't get me wrong. This was a huge gap up from the $79 level. But something important to note: we're going to hear news about the AMD Xilinx merger. Like, why would you take a position in a company that is absolutely about to be diluted with shares? That's my thing. So not all companies are created equal. I think we should all be paying attention. The shareholder vote for the Xilinx acquisition, I believe, is on Thursday. It might be on Tuesday. I'll double check. Watch that sort of stuff because it's sitting right there. It is very clear. It doesn't matter that we have a higher price target. And I'm with you. I love seeing this gap up, but this does nothing for me right now. My semiconductor. God, I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. I just like my bad dog.
no, you got it. I mean that's fair. That's definitely a fair point. But still, I'm talking about today, right now. We're talking about the watch list for right now.
Okay,
So
got you. I mean, I'll go because I kind of was in the same sort of region, but mine would be applied materials actually. AMAT. I'm loving what I've been seeing in the market, like in their price action, and not only that, they just got a price target upgrade to 160, and it's all about how they're going to continue to invest in upgrading and their future product introductions and integrations. And let's see here. Uh, they have an investor relations meeting tomorrow, I believe. So we're going to be looking out for that and watching that. Both Applied Materials and Intel both are going to be doing webcasts talking about their upcoming product line for the next 2 years. So that's going to be tomorrow, and they're up 3.3% in the pre-market. And if you look at the price action for the past, I don't know, I want to say, God, I'm not looking at the right chart. Oh yeah, the price action for the God Jesus Christ. Since mid March has just been a solid lineup. We're really breaking over. I'm really happy about this constructive growth. If we can hold over at this 236 level, we're sitting at 240 right now, but even up down to 236, I can continue to want to be a buy. Even all the way down to 231, if I'm going to be honest. But on the upside, I'm really looking for like 245, and Yeah, honestly, the projection on all of our semiconductors is great. All right, I've talked too much. Twan, good morning, man.
Do you
What's on?
think do you think we see another little pullback with Jay Powell speaking?
I can't predict that.
Just wondering.
Good morning. I got Roku, entry 340, price target 486, stop loss exit at 330, and I'll put in the Discord.
Good Lord,
Holy
that price
shit,
target.
Twan. Did you say
What?
486? All right, okay. Yo, Twan, you got to come back tomorrow. Officially, you and Stocky Balboa will be doing the bull and bearish case on Roku, because that's
Got you.
you got to explain that one.
That is
And
one
they,
hell of
you
a
know,
trade.
they just got a new analyst price target of 500.
What the fuck? All right, yeah, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
do
I'm gonna put
our
in the
Roku homework.
Discord.
No, thanks for that, man. We're gonna do some work because we don't take a $160 fucking price boost. That
Overtime.
that will be challenged for sure. So yeah, tomorrow, you guys, I expect at least just give me 20, 30 seconds explaining that thesis because that's extreme for sure. Liv, what are you looking at for the day, man?
I'm actually not going to be looking at anything. I'm going to take a conservative couple of days from trading. I actually didn't get to completely relax over my vacation time because of my phone, but I want to just let the market do what it's going to do and let Biden's Powell speak on Friday, and then I'll just be chilling. I might add to some positions, but I'm not going to actively trade.
Oh my God, you guys, I haven't even told you about my short the bond market trading plan based on what Jay Powell's been talking about and looking at the bond yield rates, but it's cool. We don't got time
Yeah.
for that. No,
Kathy has your back too.
no, we shorten bonds for sure. Marcus, what are you looking at for today, man?
I'm actually sitting on my hands today. I couldn't find anything yesterday that kind of interests me, so I'm just kind of laying low and see what happens.
Oh my God, you guys, this is the market. Everything is interesting. Okay. Shanice, what are you looking at for today?
Okay, so definitely Boeing.
No,
Charted
just
that out. Oh,
I
all
was gonna
right.
say just give us the
Bo
top one.
okay,
I don't
Boeing, Pinterest.
no, just give us the top one. What are you looking at for Boeing?
It already broke the 256 in pre-market, so I didn't know. I'm gonna take that 256 and maybe put in a call for around 260.
Interesting. What's your stop loss on this one?
$2. It's a tight loss. 15%. If it drops 50%, I'm getting out. I'm not swing trading. I'm getting out. I'll re-enter.
I love that. We'll talk more about this after on the back end. Daniel, what are you looking at for today, man? Skip, Fahim, what are you looking at for today? Yo, is this thing on?
I'm looking at SOS though, honestly.
Did you say SOS?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is it hard? Isn't this a play that you don't look at, or it's just because it's a great dip to buy while Bitcoin's kind of doing this little downward dance? Nah, I mean, it's not too far down, but it's sitting at 58,000 right now. It's down 2% from Friday. And last but not least, Stocky, what are you looking at for today, man?
I'm looking at Walmart as well as adding on to Schwab anytime I can.
I love that. Last but not least, I'll say that I am looking at Palantir. I'm really excited for. They got another large government contract. I don't remember the exact $1 million price. But
89.9.
thank you. Yeah, Palantir is sitting. It's been at a complete discount for quite some time now. I'm waiting to see the price action kind of match what a lot of investor emotion has been saying, that this company is bullish. We have a really high outlook for the rest of the year, and I'm just wondering when this thing is going to start acting like I need it to. But for me personally, I'm going to need to see it break over like $25, honestly, and then I'll be looking for a $27 play. Sitting currently at 23.59, and I don't know, it could easily drop right back down to $20. So I'm not exactly sure where this thing's at, but I love hearing good news about it. Oh yeah, it's an $89 million contract. With that said, let's do some affirmations and get into our trading day. Hey Liv, do
Look
you
at
want to do
some,
the affirmations? You kicked ass the last time.
especially since your spy calls are going to the moon. Can you please?
Sure. Okay. I'm a calm, thoughtful, insightful search of information. I like to take my time to know my plays and see where the chart is going to predict before I enter. I don't get greedy and I take profit. I trade with a plan, not a dream, because this is reality. I am a professional trader. And that's it, you guys. I like to keep it sweet. Hopefully you guys all trade wonderfully today. Stay green, stay positive, and don't get addicted to hopium. Take care, everybody. This has been Stockhouse University.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you, Luke. I'm grateful for everybody on stage. I'm grateful for all of you in the audience. I'm not even gonna talk too much, man. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys all have a great trading day. This is Stockhouse U, and we're out of here.
Stay blessed.
Guys, have a good one.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Peace.